I am talking straight into this mic right now. What do you think about that? Talking about that mic. Talking into that mic. Definitely left my headphones downstairs. Gonna have to run down and grab them headphones. Oh yeah. It's gonna be so good when I grab those headphones. I'm gonna be able to hear all the things. All the highs, all the lows. Yeah! Hey world. How you doing? Please stand by.
Has science gone too far?
Up, down, down.
Get past, get last, get gone, get back. Now it's time to get back. Look straight out of the projects, the desirable objects will be proud of your progress, cause nobody can stop it. So you must not have heard the nerds have gotten confident. We used to be the opposite, we take it as a compliment. My possession's prominent, I got to get jobs in this. Pockets at a time, and I remember what my mama said. Games were a waste of time. I was at your children's mind. Now we gotta lay the rest, and let it stay in mind. We can move ahead, push forward, you can stay behind. Fully going where no man's gone. If these alley bugging like a cockroach, if we got clothes at the scene like a missile drop, kick off the top rope. Fashion, TV, comics, government, we proclaiming the landscape is changing.
Up, down, down. Up, down, down. Up, down, down.
This is the rise of the NPC. Brainstorm MTV, and bootleg MP3. You see, paid dues like a union member. We put more cheap clothes than you remember. Forward is to December, taking you to the center of the game. Is insane, we on a new adventure. You know the new. They rocks, we put it on the tube. And they watch, that's right, old school to next gen. No nonsense, we just win. Even when it's a special guest in. I remember they used to laugh at us, and now they dream about surpassing us. That's just up, and I know it's a rock and roll. But you know we got the flow, got that rock and roll. Now it's rock and
Up, down, down. Up, down, down. Up, down, down.
I agree to accept the following terms and regulations put forth by the administrators of this community and blah, blah, blah. I accept.
Confident, cocky, the cubicle jockey. Confident, cocky, the cubicle jockey.
About your sick ass.
Snatch me up. Pass them up. Not much. Adequate. So ravenous. Passionate. Accident. Blasphemous. GameStop. Kickbox. College student. Over 9,000. Real bruh. Shield up. Don't kill ya. Build up, maxed out. Get a champ.
Boy, I'm OP, OP. None of these rappers can hold me. I'm OP, OP. Got the codes from the OGs. I'm OP, OP. None of these rappers can hold me. I'm OP, too OP. Overpowered, overpowered.
Dominant, continent, dark shit got providence. Superman and injustice. Alex Mercer, prototype. Open mic, snatch that, grab that, tap that, see what you do. Tap that, snap that, shut that, smack the cat, do what you do. Others, brothers, fresh, piece of game, keep away, rep myself, take the case, day, piece of steak.
As you can see, it's unlikely that I'm hungry. Boy, I'm OP, OP. None of these rappers can hold me. I'm OP, OP. Got the codes from the OGs. I'm OP, OP. None of these rappers can hold me. I'm OP, too OP. Overpowered, overpowered. Supersonic on that Sega and Rosana. Dry haters, so I cancel out for the hiatus. Like Jack around in that time chamber. Feel the time that I'm doing the bar. Sky Hill, 85 Lakers. I'm too far, you can't touch the hills. You can get one for the white
OP, none of these rappers can hold me. I'm OP.
Mojav, our savior. Before we recorded an entire podcast with no microphones.
Well, no, we're recording it to the podcast portion. So.
Oh yeah, I guess we are getting the waveforms and whatnot, so that makes sense.
Mojav, tell us, you're our only hope.
Do we sound silky smooth? I don't know about all that, but
just One nod if we're live, 2 nods if we're not. We can't
Are we Bruce
tell.
Willis in this shit? I don't know.
I don't. What is?
Mojav says we're good.
All right, thanks. Hi,
doing-
Mojav.
We're doing the damn thing.
All right, cool. Well, we're gonna do a phone cast.
Yeah.
We got no special. We got whatever special effects you see there. That's literally it. I have no idea what is going on right now.
We have no interwebs. It's a nerd podcast with no notes.
No notes.
No.
No, wait, no.
interwebs?
I got it on my phone.
Hey, there it is.
I got it on my phone. Did you get it come up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's not coming up on mine.
Of course. Hey, good thing I got a split screen function that I was 100% confident I was never going to use on this phone.
How do I do split screen on the iPhone?
Is the iPhone cool enough?
Yeah, mine's the big one.
Girl.
Um,
wow. Look.
Oh yeah, you can see that all right.
So the white bar next to the stream, that's my chat. It's got a room. It's got enough room for like half your name, Mojav.
Yep.
Per line. And then I got my show notes on the top. Woo!
All right, cool. Well, you monitor chat. I'll try to keep the show going.
Yeah, baby.
Because a lot of this, we're rubbish about, facts and like real things. And I have a lot of links in today's notes. Because I didn't bother to write the notes out this time. I was just like, we'll click on them live. It might have come back up. Now it's going to take another 17 minutes to get into the actual show notes. This is terrible.
Excellent.
All right.
You could do the thing, and
I'm just gonna do the thing. Well, fuck it, we're doing it live.
Fuck it.
Oh my god!
Got through my phone with it. Fuck it. Straight into the TV.
Is that the new phone, or is that the one you're about to take back?
Phone.
Is that the one you're gonna take back though?
Oh no,
okay.
No, that one's packaged away with a bag of dog shit with it.
What is that now? What do you have now?
S8. I hate it.
Oh, but I thought you were gonna take that one back too.
I don't know.
Come to iPhone.
There's nothing better.
Come to iPhone.
I mean, I don't know.
I know you do a lot of
like
YouTube stuff, but it's better.
I'll think about it.
Oh, I got it to come up. I'm going to click on it, and it's going to take another 10 minutes for it to open up in my browser. Anyways, welcome to Super Magical Podcast, a weekly interactive podcast where we take a sincere, sarcastic, and this week a psychic look at the world of gaming TV.
I can't. We've lost our show notes. So we're just doing this off the top of our head, basically. We kind of have access to it on the phone, but I imagine Mallow's over here like, I will use my powers to access the notes.
There's a reason that I used that exact word, and I'm trying to bring up the article. So I'm going to do the intro again so we have it for the actual podcast.
Of course.
But I might use that intro for the blooper thing. Yeah. For the beginning.
I'll keep my giggles to myself.
Welcome to Super Magical Podcast, a weekly interactive podcast where we take a sincere, sarcastic, and this week, psychic look at the world of gaming, TV, music, movies, and more. Joining me in the studio, as he always does, is Hoover. Dude, this week, man.
Baby, I'm doing better already. This is therapeutic.
My name is Mallow, by the way. I didn't introduce myself. Boy, have we had a day. The whole studio's just gone down. It's just we're done. We're done.
It's a mess, but hopefully you will find entertainment in our sadness.
I say psychic because we should have seen this coming. But it's been 15 years since the release of Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and just this past week, PC Gamer has reported that the Psychic Readers Network is now suing Rockstar over Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Vice City.
Vice City.
Okay, all right.
So in that game, I don't know if you've played it or not, but in that game, they have a person named Auntie Poulet,
Mm-hmm.
who looks a lot like Miss Cleo. It's even voiced by Miss Cleo.
Is it really?
She went bankrupt because Psychic Friends Network screwed her out of all of her money. So she needed some cash. So what did she do? She did the voice acting for herself in a video game. And now, 15 years later, the Psychic Friends Network's claims they've invested more than $100 million creating and developing the Miss Cleo character, and Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive, their parent company, have earned over $500 million on the game, and they want some of that cash, yo.
So they're saying that they own Miss Cleo as a character. Were they going to recast her? Was that the goal?
Well, no, that's the thing, is they created that fake character of Miss Cleo, and then Rockstar and Take-Two have used the character in the game, so there's copyright infringement, I think is what they're doing.
I'm just imagining, like,
yeah, they're doing
we'll be back
copyright,
with you after the break. And then, like, they come
Scottish,
back and
that
it's
is
like,
not even close.
Whatever. They come back and it's just like some guy in like a wig, and he's like, baby child, what things aren't looking good.
No, no. Here's the thing: Yuri Del Harris, who played Ms. Cleo for a long time, she did provide the character's voice, and it's like her only time she's ever been in a video game. I believe that she is deceased, if I am correct.
Oh, no. We should Google it. I'm sorry.
She died of cancer last year. Aww. I have that in the notes. There we go. So here's the thing. Them motherfuckers waited. They saw it coming.
Mm-hmm.
They waited a year.
Psychic jokes left and right. Fucking.
This is the only thing keeping me alive right now.
You've been working on this all day.
Working on this stick for like a week. So yeah, they're suing, I think, for, hang on, I'm trying to. The network is seeking unspecified damages.
Unspecified damages.
Yeah.
Tell us how damaged we are.
Right. I'm gonna try to see Vice City lawsuit again and see if that comes up.
They didn't sue for specified damages, but do they already know how much they're going to get in damages? And if you're a psychic network, would you not engage in that unless you knew you were going to win?
That's the thing. Have they looked far enough into the future to know that this isn't parody, which is all about the video games? See, it's called the right of parody, guys. I don't think you guys really know what that is, but that's cool. You know it's real because I'm looking at it on TMZ, though. So if we're just going to round it all out, TMZ is reporting as well that Grand Theft Vice City sued Miss Cleo lookalike Auntie Poulet.
You're doing God's work,
You're doing God's work, TMZ.
A credible news source.
So I didn't want to start it off this week with it, but the Nintendo Metroid Special 3DS XL thing edition, great, cool, all right, done. It looks great. It's like one of the last 3DSs being made out there. Congratulations. Maybe we'll get one for your birthday or something. We'll see.
Really? Yeah. I would love that.
You just sounded like Beaker. You're like.
I would love to have one. I'll be honest. I won't gush about her again, but Samus.
Right on. Okay, back to taking another hard left. Right back to news. Valve released its user numbers. They had a recent ahead of, so this weekend is Dota 2's International, which will never fucking load because of course. But the International takes over Key Arena here in Seattle, and it is packed the whole time with all the different teams playing for. I think they said this year, I was reading it earlier on GeekWire. I think the prize is $27 million. Is like $3 million more. Now the winning team doesn't get all $27 million. I think they split like $10 million. But
that's
I mean,
real
it's
insignificant.
Just, how much is that in South Korea?
Like enough to own South Korea, I think.
Okay, sorry, that was a bad joke about South Koreans being really good at Dota, but they are really
good at Dota. Is that a bad stereotype?
I don't
You're
know because
really good at stuff.
is it though? Because isn't like wasn't like the Chinese like killing in Overwatch last year? Didn't they win it all?
Kat could probably tell us.
Cat could tell
I
us.
think
Yeah.
she's probably asleep at this point, but
Yeah. What up,
Yeah.
Sweden?
yeah,
I
love your fish.
and your chefs. There you
Oh.
go. Hey.
Oh,
So Valve now counts 67 million monthly active players
that's
on
bonkers.
Steam.
That is bonkers.
That is 53 million. No, there are 53 million monthly active users on Xbox. I feel like you could have just told me that one.
I don't pay that
it's
close enough attention to that shit.
Steam also says they have 33 million daily active players. And I think that's total user base. They're reporting about 125 million active people there. So they gave a big talk about the future of Steam and things like that, and basically it's all looking numbers for them, man. If you think about all that.
Of course. Did at any point they mention that they were going to hire anybody working the customer service department aside from like the one guy who doesn't speak English?
Hang on, I've only got the text only version of this because of the internet.
No.
No.
Yeah,
No. No.
I didn't think they were going to do it.
Yeah, these pictures are loading like porn back in the 90s.
Sweet skin lines.
Yeah.
Is that half a nipple? We'll get started.
It's a pixelated one. Yeah.
Let's get started.
Here's the interesting thing, though, out of this, all joking aside. They think of Steam as a massive social network. Beyond the app platform, beyond the massive sales they get because they take 30% of everything in the App Store.
Right.
They think of it kind of like it's its own sort of network of gamers connected to gamers talking about games and recommending games and all this, And it's not just that too. I think you can now get podcasts on there.
I know you can get like movies and
you can
shit.
get movies and shit now too.
Yeah, I don't know about podcasts. Maybe. I don't see why you couldn't.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's very interesting the way that they're kind of looking at it. Like
Hashtag best butts on podcasting on Steam.
Gabe.
Hook us up.
So they also talked a little bit about the Steam Direct whole process on there. But it's interesting because like according to the industry, like PC sales are declining, and yet all I can hear most gamers talking about right now is either building a PC, using a PC, and some sort of like, I know we stick into Overwatch and we stick in a little bit of Dota and things like that, but like I know there's a lot of sales. Sony is still kicking everybody's asses on sales for consoles, but I know a lot of people who have PS4 and a PC. I'm going to speak personally. Those are the two that really have hooked up right now. When I don't go back to Xbox for the Extra Life streams and stuff like that for Battlefield this year, for the charity streams, we'll be doing that. But most of the time, the games I want to play are on PS4 and/or my default is just PC. I find that interesting. Is like, are we just in this cyclical kind of nature where they're saying like, Valve sales way up here, they say PC sales are right here based on industry stuff. I feel like it's just like next gen of chips are going to come out, PC sales is going to go right back up, and then Valve's going to go right back up, kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, so I think most of the problem that we have here right now is when you're considering PC sales, you're not considering like PC component sales. People are upgrading more.
Yeah,
they're Frankensteining what they can together, and I think like who's counting all the individual pieces being shipped from 5 different places, right? You get on Newegg, you find some stuff. If you're around here, maybe you drive down to Fry's, you buy some of the stuff, you get some of it next day from Amazon. Like, who counts that as a PC sale?
Right.
And that
spectrum. That's the thing that I'm wondering, because like if they're counting the PCs, you can just go to like Best Buy or buy off of Amazon, or I almost said Circuit City, but they've been out of business for a long time. But you know what I'm saying? Like, or Staples, right? You just go in there and you just pick up an HP and stuff like that, like your office sales. Like,
right.
Yeah, I could see that declining because a lot of that stuff can be done by laptops or, tablets nowadays. Your most normal, like, PC usage. But, the high-end chips and things like that have actually been outselling all the way through 2016.
Well, you should also consider in the scope of PC sales, right? Like, you're either going to have a nice tight package, like in a laptop, or some sort of an all-in-one that's being purchased by people who don't really know how to affordably build a PC, or you've got millennials who are now turning into the generation of people who are buying, who were raised on PCs, right?
Yeah.
So they're either A, I can't afford to go spend $1,500 on a home PC that does jack shit, or B, I can't afford to let somebody else build my PC. I will take my time and I will assemble my parts, and then I will have my PC.
Yeah.
And that's that.
And that's what we're doing here for this studio.
That's what all of our friends are doing.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just they've gotten to the point where they're almost like Legos. There's not a lot.
Yeah, it's very plug and play. Even my dumbass can probably get it these days. We spent a little bit of time in the Super Magical chat talking about it, and I feel like I'm empowered enough to go from scratch again.
Yeah.
Do it, you know.
Yeah. Totally.
Breaking news, company spokesman for Rockstar and Take-Two have called these claims entirely meritless, completely ridiculous, and they will vigorously defend ourselves in regard to this matter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of us in there with a lot of we. That's all I'm saying. PR, getting it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool. I mean, it's interesting to see Valve still taking over the world. Do you think that anybody's going to come up and challenge that anytime soon?
I think there's people that totally could, and strangely enough, I think Xbox is actually one of those.
Uh-huh.
I know I'm a little maybe I've got a little bit of that brainwashing going on. I'm really trying my best to stay unbiased here, but I think if they stop trying to push the Xbox console and switch to Xbox as a platform with their whole Play Anywhere thing,
yeah,
that's cool. Like the possibility of being able to sit at my computer and play a game,
mm-hmm.
and then go climb into bed and like turn on any PC,
right?
Hopefully that I could load up with like an Xbox, like just like Steam's big picture mode. Open up Xbox before I sit down, and like just pick up and
keep playing.
Like that sounds fantastic.
I mean,
would totally endorse that.
If the Xbox One X had PC keyboard and mouse support into it automatically,
mm-hmm.
it may. But if it had better support for that, damn, that's all. That's a good gaming hardware to get started with. What is it like? Actually, we don't know. Is it $500? $499? I think it's like $499. We should, yeah. You haven't put that price everywhere yet, Jesus.
No. I put big X's all over everything. It's gonna be dollars.
That is inside baseball for the marketing two people in here that we do. Yeah.
They don't let me know shit.
They don't let you know shit. Okay. I mean, that's fair. It's the world's most powerful console. Did you know that?
Is it?
They want you to know. Is it? I don't know. I mean, what do you count as the world's most powerful console? Because again, you build your own these days.
Yeah. That's the thing, is you could build any sort of home media PC and then call it a console, right? Maybe world's most powerful mass marketed console. Like, is it better than a PS4 Pro? I don't know.
Specs wise, I think it is actually.
Yeah.
Specs wise, I think it is.
Cool.
I think. Well, actually, let me back up and say that I think in certain specs it is, and in some it's not.
Mm-hmm.
I think they kind of balance each other out. So.
Well, I can't wait to play Bloodborne on it. Wait.
Nope. Speaking of games that I'm gonna really, 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 really wait to maybe never ever in my life play, we gave Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor kind of an on the scale of to Super Magical kind of thing.
That was all the way back at the year, like we were looking at the year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were like, what about Shadow of Mordor?
Well, and like no, we were kind of like, I mean, I played the original game, and I talked a little bit about getting like burnt out by the just constant fucking nemesis and stuff like that.
Right.
And apparently that nemesis can then come over to Shadow of War. Okay, that's kind of a cool mechanic because like they change a little bit and they sort of, are procedurally generated. But in Shadow of War, like many other games out there, apparently, we now need to come with microtransactions and loot boxes. Not just for cosmetics, though.
Nope.
It's for real gear.
Real gear.
Yep.
Paying real money for real gear.
Yep. It's the Monolith has explained it like this. The loot chests
and the value to the customer. Did I get it about right?
A little bit. So I'm reading off of Kotaku. Jason Schreier summed it up like this from their bullet point. Loot chests contain gear, weapons, and armor of varying rarity. Equipping and upgrading these weapons and armor enhance Talion's can't pronounce his name. Character abilities. Loot chests can also contain XP boosts that help level up Talion faster. War chests provide orc followers and varying rarity to help forge a strong army. They also contain training orders to level up and customize orc followers. I know orcs were going to follow you. XP boosts are consumables that help level up faster. No shit. Bundles package up loot chests, war chests, and boots together. Great value.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't going to be a bullet pointed list from a developer about DLC without the word value. You even put it in the thing.
In my rambling, the 3 words I said was something customer value.
Right, yeah. So apparently, so here's the thing. They haven't revealed the pricing of this, by the way, either. So this is like great, awesome. It's another in-game currency. It's our favorite fucking subject on this podcast.
Man.
You have to buy gold, and you gamble that gold in loot chests, which is just like Overwatch and all the other things, except those are skins. This is actual like XP boosts and things like that. Like the other game that does this, and it's probably my biggest knock on it. I mentioned it 3 weeks in a row now, but Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
You can pay to get through Fortnite faster. Technically, you could just buy a bunch of loot llamas and get a bunch of shit, and you get a bunch of duplicates and all that kind of crap. Like, I mean, it's kind of terrible, but otherwise you're just grinding it out, which is the problem that I have with this game too. Is if it's anything like Shadow of Mordor, and I imagine it will be to a degree because technical difficulties, please stand by.
All over the place, man.
But if it's anything like Shadow of Mordor, and I expect it to be because it was a big hit, then you're gonna be in Grindfest 2017 again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's either, okay, we're gonna make you do job the game, or pay us a lot of money and you can get through things faster.
Joe is here for our butts.
Yes, best butts at podcasting.
What? In the butt.
Yeah. So this question was posed to Monolith. I'll read one more statement from them. And it was kind of like, what do you mean, like, when you buy gold, it can help you save time in the game? And they say, by simply engaging with the world and playing through Middle-earth Shadow of War, you earn items like gear for Talion and unique orcs for your army. We already talked about this. These are the same items that are found in the market within loot chests and war chests. Gold merely allows you to get your hands on them immediately, cutting down some of the additional time that you would have been spent winning more battles, tracking nemesis, completing quests, and assaulting fortresses. So we want you guys to pay Monolith more money so you don't have to play the game.
It's really just, there's a fine line with all this loot crate kind of shit. Like, it's a bit of a frustration with Fortnite. Yes, you can pay for it, but you're also regularly being rewarded that on the side too, right?
A lot of rewarding on the side, yeah.
A ton of it. So it actually kind of devalues it unless you get to a point later on where you're just like, that sounds like kind of fun. Like, I don't see myself investing money in that.
Yeah.
I could, but it's not a priority. Unless I'm missing it, it sure sounds like the only way that you're getting these things, which I'm sure will have your face rubbed in them the whole time.
Yeah.
You could make this a little bit easier if you just bought some loot boxes.
You know,
I
think that's the interesting thing in Fortnite. Maybe we just haven't played long enough, and I know that, you know, it gets harder into higher levels and things like that, but I think, and here's the difference, we may have to play Shadow of War to find out, but in Fortnite, feels more like...
Mojave agrees with the pay us so you don't have to play this game.
Yeah, right, Mo. We feel you, brother. But it's like... Fortnite feels more like WoW, where it's like, I'm going to grind to get these epics and things like that. And I don't... Well, right now the game is so new, we don't quite know what the epics and the mythics and all that kind of stuff are, you know, outside of what you can see in the collection book, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you know to get them, but you don't know how to grind to get them.
Right.
In Shadow of War, the way it feels like, at least from what they're saying, is they're going to show you all this cool shit, and they're going to immediately lock it behind DLC kind of type stuff, and then they'll be, you know, like you said, they're going to rub it in their face the whole way, whereas the other one just feels a little bit more like Discovery.
Right.
So I'm always wary when they say you could pay more and save time. It's like, no, I'm playing the game. I'm here to play the game. Not save time.
I think this is this story, when this broke and we started talking about it on Discord. Link below. Feel free to join us.
Actually, I gotta add the link. Yeah, I'll add the link.
We'll put the link below. Stay tuned. I think this story, when it broke and we started talking about it on Discord, was the point where I was finally just like, if I see loot box, loot chest, loot crate, loot what the fuck ever you want to dress it up as, loot tits, like, I'm sorry, it doesn't matter how appealing you try to make this at any point. Loot Mallow's butt. I'm not. There's nothing you're gonna say to get me to reach in there and pull out that sweet loot. Seriously though, it's like this kind of like put a pin in it for me. I'm done. I'm not interested in any game that's gonna badger me about loot things.
Well, it's like, okay, so like Diablo from back in the day, and even Diablo 3. I wouldn't say Diablo 3 is a masterpiece, but I know people who still play it, who love it, and like you get the boss fights, and you know you're gonna grind it. I know that people still want to play WoW. Pete has mentioned playing WoW a couple times. Kat has mentioned playing WoW a couple times, and I'm like, I don't have time. I'm trying to write my own RPG. But God, I want to play WoW. Because like it's like, okay, cool. We get a bunch of people together. We can do that. Shadow of War, not so much. You're just trying to burn through the game. And it's not like Neo's one of those ones where it's like, you know, it feels good to grind.
Yeah.
When we reviewed Neo, and Dark Souls to a degree, I finally got the appeal of Dark Souls after playing Neo, by the way. I love Dark Souls and stuff like that, but I was always just like, I got to get through it. I got to do this. And then we played Neo, and then we started going back to areas and stuff. And I was like, oh, now I see why people play Dark Souls 50 million times, because it really is truly customizable even in the run. Like I could play a knight 5 different ways. I don't think you're gonna get that in Shadow of War.
No, and
that's just me.
Even in situations where it's a very positive kind of like reinforcement, like Overwatch.
Yeah,
as Joe says, RNGesus is not kind. And we have spent a lot of time getting burnt by fucking loot boxes.
No, it's
and
true.
Like, I don't need another game to sit here and kick me in the dick over randomized loot.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, the Discord link is in the channel now. So if you want to scroll down, come join us.
Yeah.
Cool. I think we almost need a segment down there.
Right. Wait. My side?
Yeah.
Your side? My side.
Your side.
Right here.
Yeah, right there.
Click on it.
Yeah. So I almost feel like in the podcast we almost have a segment called bullshit marketing, because that's all this is really turning out to be.
Yeah.
You and I see it every day, and we call bullshit on it in our own ways, but like that's kind of what it feels like.
We should push this as a marketing podcast too.
It kind of, yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get Jim Sterling on there. It can help us with that.
Hey, maybe.
So cool. Here's some marketing that isn't necessarily too stupid. How do you like dongs?
I'm a big fan of dong. I mean, all kinds.
How are you a big fan of The Witcher 3?
I haven't gotten too deep into it yet.
Yeah.
I do intend to. Been
Yeah.
watching a little bit of Pete.
Yeah, I've been watching
Little bit
Pete doing the streamings.
For old boy,
Um,
Gator Pete.
I played a little bit of The Witcher 3. I played enough to know that there's a lot of boobies, a lot of sex in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And now you can have a coloring book about it. The book will feature uniquely designed and highly detailed black and white illustrations inspired by the games. Scenes will include such characters as Geralt, Ciri, Triss, Yennefer, Roach, Shani, and more. That Roach scene, whew, that is XXX. No, seriously, like one of the pictures is Geralt in a bathtub, and thankfully his junk is covered in that one. But
Say
yeah,
thankfully. You just asked me if I like dongs, man. I'm a big fan of dongs.
it's in stores November 1st, 2007, from Dark Horse Comics, and it's the Witcher adult comic book or coloring book.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to know what some of the other pages are like. So we'll see.
You promised me dongs. At this point, if there's not copious dongs, I'm gonna be a little.
I kind of,
upset.
knowing The Witcher, I kind of hope there is.
Yeah.
Like adult coloring books is one of those things that like is actually taking off in America for some reason.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because we've all
Yeah,
maybe it's because
I
we've
read
all
about that
grown
recently.
up and we're dealing with the orange idiot in North Korea right now today. Thanks. If this is the last podcast you ever hear from us, it's been real.
We're just sitting here with our coloring books, like the world's literally burning, but you know.
Right.
Whatever.
But hey, check it out. Hey, can you hand me that cerulean crayon? Thank you.
This is beautiful. The detail.
Yeah, just the veins.
That's the bluest dick I've ever seen.
Smurf dick. That's all I got. Final Fantasy 15 is getting a co-op mode.
Neat.
Yeah. Here's the problem. You gotta pay the $25 season pass for it.
Pass. Next.
Yep. Disney has pulled their streaming rights from Netflix 6 months after they went into use to start their own paid streaming service. I almost feel bad for Netflix a little bit, I guess.
Let me set this phone down.
Okay.
Why?
You just payload. Payload.
Why?
Because they're gonna make a payload of cash.
They might be the only ones who could possibly get away with that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
There's tons of people that are like, we'll make our own service. We're ABC. Really, ABC?
ABC's owned by Disney, so yes, actually they could.
Ooh.
CBS. All right,
That's
so we're
what I'm
going
thinking of.
completely out here.
CBS.
Sportsnet. Well, see, but CBS News has actually been their paid app has actually been doing pretty good in streaming. They announced today that they are doing a sports version of that.
Okay.
And the sports world finally went, fucking finally. Because that's like the Final Four and some of the other big like events that they have. All you want to do in those kind of things is like, I will pay $4.99 for a couple of months of this, stream the sports that I'm done, and that's it. I don't have to worry about doing it any other way.
Does that include the, like NFL shit?
TBD on that one, but I would imagine it would at some point. But the NFL Network's got their own streaming thing too, and so you can just get any fucking game.
Well, that's
minus
like that's
blackouts and
locked
shit.
behind some bullshit.
Last
I saw it was tied to like DirecTV or some shit.
I think NFL streaming. Well, this year it's on Amazon Prime for Thursday Night Football instead of Twitter. So they went from Twitter to Amazon Prime. I think Game Pass is what it's called now.
Yeah, I could have sworn you had to have.
Yeah, you can access live out of market preseason replays of every game, NFL films. Yeah, so I think you can do a good bit of stuff. Hi to a sports podcast. Hi. Yeah, I think though that they're getting more into that with games. The NFL's the last holdout, I think. Where's Stryker? This is the one time we fucking need the intern.
Yeah,
he would help me with this.
He'd be all about this.
Because the NHL, MLB, we talked about this at one point. They all have their own streaming pieces. The NFL might split it up, I guess.
He's suddenly as if called like Beetlejuice into the fucking into the fucking chat. Game Pass. Yeah. Oh, that's NFL Sunday Ticket, and Game Pass lets you watch replays the day after.
Ladies and gentlemen, the intrepid intern from the road calling in to help us keep track. So, okay, so we're right. NFL is still behind their TV rights at this point. And not locked in with the Game Pass kind of thing. So
here's the thing. So this started with the Netflix having their Disney deal pulled, which actually I also learned from Stryker in the chat today, was signed in 2014 but didn't go into effect until late 2016. It was supposed to go until 2018, but it's gotten pulled early. And so
I was just trying to catch up with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. too. Fuck!
I agree with this whole principle of like pay for what you want, but at the same time it's driving me a little nuts that every piece is like fragmenting off. At least I can pick them up as I want them and drop them when I'm done with them. Like if all I'm gonna do is like subscribe to whatever I need to get football games for the wife, and then shut it down when it's done. Like cool. It's better than having to pay like $800 a month for whatever you get with like cable.
That. Yeah. And shitty internet service, Comcast.
Hey.
We're never getting sponsored by Comcast.
No, we're not. I think if Comcast came up to me with a truckload of money, I would just have to seppuku.
Yeah.
Like I want that money, but
okay, so it says that they're not Stryker's saying they're not pulling the Disney stuff until the end of the contract. So, but I mean, is it the end of 2018 or going into 2018? I guess it's probably the end of 2018.
I don't know.
Right?
Either way, that's a much shorter time frame than one would have anticipated.
The other half of this coin, though, the part that will be actually interesting in this is that not only are they going to try to make their own paid streaming service, because right now I think what Disney has a free service that I use. Keep the little one in check sometimes that plays like Doc McStuffins and all that. Mm-hmm. But then I think they alongside this they announced that they're working on something for ESPN, which if ESPN finally goes to its own paid streaming service, all bets for cable are officially off, because like ESPN, the reports keep coming out on the trades that like you and I listen to it or watch at least for in marketing world. They are losing like millions of subscribers like a month.
Yeah.
And that's basically what's keeping ESPN afloat is the like $4 per person per household kind of thing that they get. And it's not per person. I think it's $4 like per house. Mm-hmm. They get. It's an extremely big amount because of how many stations they have and stuff like that.
Right.
So it's a lot of revenue that they're losing, and they still have a pretty large staff to make that thing happen because they're actually located partially here in Seattle. Their internet division is here in Seattle.
Makes sense. So, everybody's in Seattle.
Right, yeah. So I agree. Sports is actually the only reason I have cable TV too. We had a Stryker and a few others in the chat saying that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, finally tonight, Miami Vice getting a reboot.
Yeah.
From Vinny Diesel himself. I just want to know if he's going to star in the show as well. That could be fun.
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
I'll give Vin Diesel a chance on anything because he's Vin Diesel.
Well, I mean, all I'm saying is the Fast and the Furious series is the greatest series ever in movies. Yeah. Fight me. I know. Star Wars. I know.
I wasn't a fan. Sorry. Wasn't a fan. So my thing, I got turned off really early, but I mean, I could probably give it a shot now that I'm not an angsty teenager. It'd probably make a pretty big difference. But it was like in the first and the second movie, they're like, "We're going fast," and then it'd cut to the speedometer and be like 35, 40. 45, and then it cuts away, it's like, and the road just tearing by, and then it's like 50. What?
Well, all right, if you have to like Fast and the Furious if you don't like physics for one thing, because it is an action movie. So if you got to watch 1, then you got to skip 2 and 3 because those were rubbish, and then pick it back up at 4, and then keep going.
Okay,
trust me on this one. My wife and I watch them all the time. It's like you cut out episodes 2 and 3 of Star Wars, but you just disavow all knowledge of episode 1 and you move things around. That's kind of like, it's kind of the machete order of Fast and Furious.
I'm going to tell you this right now. The only reason you're getting a shot at this, Vin Diesel. I'll give Vin Diesel time of day. My baby.
He's good though. I mean, he's got a hell of a production company.
And he's such a beautiful man.
Well, he is. Yes,
he's got that voice.
He is aging quite nicely.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So it's his production company, which is ironically called One Race Television. So yeah, they're gonna bring it back. We don't know who's starting, in it yet and stuff like that. But I can only hope that Vin Diesel plays like a villain and not a main character. That would be awesome.
Oh yeah.
He just like rolls in every once in a while. He's a villain. He just like rolls in like wink and then leaves.
What if he's just like, he just keeps on having like Stan Lee-ish cameos, like,
oh, that'd be great,
every episode, but not like as in like in your face, but he's just like ordering coffee or something like that, and he's just like in the background like.
No. They do a classic 70s, 80s car chase, and he's the one that owns the orange fruit stand. And then he turns around, he's got a fake ass fucking mustache on, and he's like yelling. And
he's like, "Oh, come on!"
But he's still dressed up.
He's like, "Oh!" Like flexing and shit.
But he's still dressed up like,
"Oh, my oranges!"
He's still dressed up like Dominic Toretto, just in a tank top and jeans the whole time. But he's just got the really fake mustache on.
It sounds perfect to me.
Hey, we would star in that. We'll do some cameos.
Yeah. I'll be the second orange stand. They go through one, and he's like, "Oh," and they cut back to the cars, and they go through another one. I'm like, twice? Really?
That's like a Family Guy thing. It's like, we're gonna replay the joke from earlier in the segment. Yeah. I should have seen that coming.
You should have.
But I didn't.
I got you. How are we doing on time?
I think we're doing okay in time. Do we have anything else you want to talk about?
About Game of Thrones.
Let's talk about Game of Thrones.
I want to talk about Game of Thrones. By the way, you put me on blast by making me open the last podcast by singing. Putting that out there. I'm going to remember that. Winner, 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 winner. One wiener next to another wiener.
Sing now, because after the concert tomorrow night, you're not going to have a voice for a couple of days.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me...
It's going to be me in meetings all day on Thursday. So, speaking of fire, the chat just went... I know that's because you were singing Metallica, but it's also because of dragons.
We probably also lost Joe. Sorry, Joe. I love you.
Yeah, he just jumped off.
Like, no, spoilers!
Wow. Oh, wow. Holy
All
shit.
the dragons.
I don't know a better way to end an episode than for Daenerys just to fly in and be like, you know what? Fuck your couch.
Fuck your motherfuckers. Yeah, she really did. She was just stomping around. Fuck your couch. Fuck your couch.
Yeah.
Oh my god. By the way, did Jaime get tackled into like a bottomless puddle? He was like riding through the water, and he's like, "I got this." Yeah, and he gets tackled into like an inch of water, and then he sinks, and that distance from the camera must have been like 10 feet.
I was like, wait a minute. He's going down, and it's all dark at the bottom too, and I'm like, that's kind of a far way down.
Like, did he get tackled into another dimension where there's like, it's like fucking water world?
Portal gun just opened up right as he hit the water. I mean, it's just like, I don't understand. I mean, because like he's racing across the beach like chariots of fucking fire. Like, I want to go back and like slow mo that thing and like dun 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 dun, and then like have him mouth go, oh fuck.
dun, 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 dun.
And just like as that moment of realization hits when the dragon, because that was a badass shot when the dragon just goes, "Hi!"
It just like opened up like la 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 la. And he was like,
But you want the dragon to sound like Mike Tyson, be like, "I see you coming at me right here. I'm just gonna say that no."
and then tackled off into the porty gun. Portal gun, whatever.
Just now you're thinking in portals.
Womp, and then just like shoots off into the ocean.
So, okay, so we are like over. Well, not maybe. Yeah, we're kind of over right now on the predictions. I'm okay with that. Arya showed back up at Winterfell.
It's so much fun. I appreciated your prediction. I felt like it was a long shot, but at the
I'm
same
okay
time,
with that. I'm okay being wrong.
It's
cool with
okay.
that.
It's okay because when you finally get it right,
yes,
it's gonna be like, I told you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got 15 other predictions wrong
Yeah.
in the same episode before, but I was right about this one, and boy, was I right.
One of these days, we're gonna get fucking Gendry back, and it's gonna be glorious.
Mm-hmm. And we're gonna be like, we've been talking about this.
Yeah, we've been talking about him for like 4 episodes.
20
now.
episodes.
Yeah, chaos is a ladder.
Oh, dude. So I actually saw where that was a jab that he took at Littlefinger.
Yeah.
Because
Littlefinger said that to
Varys.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, chaos is a ladder. And I don't know, presumably licked Varys afterwards because he's just kind of
he's always a little weird,
smarmy like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, that's the thing that kind of drives. God damn it! I was trying to move on before you could do that. That's the thing that Littlefinger did. What the? God damn it! What are you doing to me? We're gonna look over here now. Hi, Twitch.
Chaos is a ladder.
So that's the thing. Littlefinger just now realized what Bran can do, and the secrets of all that kind of stuff. Littlefinger lives in secrets.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden there's a guy staring him right in the face that he just handed a dagger to, that just looked at him and was like, I know everything.
Right. I know about your little secrets, because that was a very private conversation that he was having that with. I'm sure he's not going around. He doesn't have banners emblazoned with chaos as a ladder or anything like that. It's not like a family crest like chaos is a ladder and there's a hand holding a collapsing ladder in it or anything like that.
It's on his personal blog,
This was a thing that he said to really get under somebody else's skin quietly in a dark corner.
Yeah.
And Bran's leans in close and he's like, chaos is a ladder.
Do you think?
And so immediately Littlefinger is just push his chair back. I'm gonna leave.
Yeah, it's shit. He looked at him like, wait, are you Charles Xavier? Brandon Stark is now Dr. Manhattan or Mr. Manhattan and Charles Xavier put together. Now that he's got a wheelchair, and I'm just next thing you know that he's just gonna make that wheelchair levitate like X-Men. He's just gonna be like, I'm sorry, Sansa, I have to go over here now.
I still need him to Muppet the tree.
I'm so waiting on that still. He gave the dagger to Arya. Arya, badass.
Then Arya takes the dagger and is like, let me show you to what degree I am badass.
Yeah.
And goes and starts slapping around on Brienne of Tarth.
Yeah.
You're not taking me seriously enough. Poke. Poke.
Yeah.
Poke. Okay, bitch. Seriously? Boot to chest.
Yeah.
But then she's like, that's cool. Sweet little flippy whippy thing.
Yeah.
And I'm standing up and dagger.
Yeah. Here's the question.
Before we move on from that, Littlefinger, right? Did he see that display before or after he did the thing with Bran? I'm having a problem recalling.
After.
So he just went from, Jon Snow, Undead King of the North. Sansa Stark has basically managed to live through, holy shit, all of everything.
Yeah.
The most ruthless guy that's ever lived in the North.
Yep.
In his bed.
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes and talks to Bran, who starts calling him out for his like dark corner secrets. And then he looks over the balcony and sees Arya Stark whooping Brienne of Tarth's ass. How unsettled! I swear to God, if something doesn't like get under this guy's skin, where he's just like, y'all motherfuckers are just like, I no.
He's still trying. His hubris is going to come back to kill him. And by hubris, I mean Arya and the dagger. And Chad agrees with me. So, here's the thing: if Littlefinger wasn't already on the list, which I don't think he was, he will be soon. Because something will slip up. Bran will say something. Something will happen, and Arya will be like, "Oh, he's the motherfucker that started this whole thing."
Mm-hmm.
Time to die. And the other thing about that particular scene that you were talking about is, so I read speculation. And maybe this was in the show, and I have to bring it back up. But where Littlefinger comes from, that whole area was founded by a man from Braavos, and Arya's first teacher was a man from Braavos, the one that she was like sword fighting with early on when Ned and everybody was still alive.
Yeah.
And then she went to Braavos and learned with no one, and now she's master assassin essentially.
Yeah. Where did you learn that, or who taught you that?
No
one. Every episode, you gotta give me one.
Yeah. And so, like, the idea being that, like, he may know that fighting style.
Mm-hmm.
And something might have clicked in his head. Because in that scene, what's the last sound we hear before it goes to a different scene?
Question.
It was a raven. And immediately when I was watching the show, the raven goes, ah, 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 and it's Littlefinger on the right, and then you just hear the raven sound on the left. And I was like, but you don't, I mean, you kind of see Littlefinger like, and I was like, oh, you're just going to like have a raven show up and be like, hey, I've got a message, and then go to a different scene. Like, fuck you guys. That's going to be important later on.
Are you thinking that like Littlefinger is also like kind of a low-key badass?
No. I think he just knows the fighting style. That's the thing. I think he just knows where it came from. I don't think he's any good. I don't think he's great.
Even that would be a big deal.
Exactly.
Just knowing all that background.
Where could she have learned that kind of stuff and all like that? So, and he, I mean, knowing him, he may even know of the Faceless God. I mean, that's his whole point, right? Him and Varys, they know the secrets. So, that was a very interesting scene as we kind of build upon everything. And then the direwolves went away again. They're going to play a bigger part in the whole series somehow. They're supposed to be there, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what's up.
Yeah.
Jamie, what? Yeah.
Stryker says that Littlefinger was on the list, but I feel like I googled the list a couple times and I never saw him on the list because I thought that too.
Our battery ran out. Note for next week.
The night is dark and full of terrors.
Yeah. Can you still see us? Hi.
I could still see me. Although I do look now very ominous. Good. Yeah.
So it's still Cersei Lannister, Melisandre, Ilan Payne. He's dead, right?
Yeah.
No, he's alive. Sorry.
A lot of people on the list are dead, which Arya even said, which was fucking badass.
Yeah.
Whenever Sansa finally realized, oh, you weren't joking about the list, were you? How many names are on your list? Most of them are dead.
Let's see. The people who are dead is Polliver, Joffrey, Rourke, Tywin Lannister, Mirren Trant, Walder Frey. She did herself. So
she thinks the Hound is dead.
She thinks the Hound is dead, but he's with the Brothers Without Banners.
Mm-hmm.
So she can just kill all four of them in one shot.
Yes.
Because aren't they all together now still?
Yeah, there's like four of them that were on her list that are now traveling together, which I think is going to be kind of a big plot point.
Yeah,
where she runs across four people on her fucking list at once.
Well, but isn't the Brothers Without Banners is heading north to take on the White Walker? So there is that kind of thing. That was an episode or two ago where they're kind of going in. thing.
So she's gonna see his ass and she's gonna be like,
Perhaps. Yeah.
say
yeah.
what?
Say what again?
What?
What's it? Wait. It goes, Keanu Reeves just shows up. Just, what? Yeah. So that'll be interesting to play out. What else did we have this
We have
week?
like three more episodes this
This
season.
was the
and they're
shortest
gonna be-
episode of all of them. But it was good, yeah.
Yeah, we got.
Oh, and the chalk painting. Yeah, Sir Davos apparently is a great chalk painter.
Yeah.
In the cave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. To that whole thing when she was like, he showed him the nice story and look, they're the White Walkers and they just happen to look exactly like the White Walkers I just saw. It was just like, oh, that's convenient. And then she was like, wait a minute. Like, I've been charmed before. You better bend that knee. And then Jon Snow should have just been like, I'm not gonna bend the knee, but I'll bend something else. Sexual tension. Lots of sexual tension in that. I'll be interested to see how all that kind of works.
All the sexual tension?
All the sexual tension.
Yes.
Yeah. Is he gonna Skywalker her?
You
Probably.
know, the next episode is called Eastwatch.
Yes.
So there's trouble at Eastwatch.
Uh-huh.
Which, weren't you saying?
Yeah.
White Walker's gonna head east and go around the wall.
I have to look at the blah, blah, blah. I look at the map again, but yeah, I think it is east. They go around the wall and start going that way.
So I think this is gonna be the episode where they get around the wall.
That would make sense because then you'd have 2 episodes to set up. Because what they've got to do, they've got, like we've talked about a couple times, they got to set up the big battle and they got to set up Cersei. And I think Cersei will be. All right, let's take bets. Is Cersei going to die before we take on the White Walkers? Or other way around? They're going to take out Cersei, then they're going to be like, all right, motherfuckers, let's deal with you now.
I'm starting to feel like Cersei's going to make it.
Feel like she's going to make it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, if she goes down, I think it's going to be like the last episode.
I think so. Yeah, I don't think this ends cleanly.
No.
I don't think Jaime's dead, by the way. I think he's still there to do something important.
I think if I see the Mountain again and he doesn't fucking murder the face off of somebody, I'm gonna be really disappointed.
Okay.
I mean, he just keeps on, like, they keep putting him in the back and he's just kind of like leans into frame and he's like, I'm still here. Clegane Bowl, get hype.
He's the highest. He's like Kane from the WWE. He just kind of like comes in and he's like smiles. He's like, hey, I'm the Demon Kane. What's up? How you doing? And then he like leans back out,
Leans back out of frame.
The highest paid background actor ever.
Clegane Bowl.
Yeah.
I need it.
Yeah. Striker, we hear you. Listen back 2-3 podcasts ago. I did say Jaime was going to be the one to kill Cersei.
Yeah.
Still sticking to that.
Yeah.
He's not going to have his gold hand or whatever like that, though. He's going to ditch that so he can like swim. Because he's in full armor right now. He's going to need some help getting back up to the surface.
Yeah.
Braun, real MVP, though, saving Jaime.
Yeah.
Even Tyrion was just like, flee, you idiot.
They tried to hide it, but that really definitely looked like it was going to be him.
What was it? It was either that or the most unfortunate name in all of Game of Thrones, Dickon. Dickon, whatever his name is.
I think it was Dickon.
Dickon. Yeah,
because
Dickon, you're right.
He said like Rickon, he was like Dickon. And then Braun was like, oh, you're serious.
And then like every 12-year-old watching like my household.
That's why he's one of my favorite characters in this whole show. Because he was the whole one that gave Tyrion the line, "Give me 10 minutes, I'll impregnate the bitch." Like, that's his whole shtick. Like he's still in character in the world, but he lives kind of like just on the outside. Like, I'm not really taking any of this all that seriously.
But it was interesting that he wanted the castle. He wanted this. It feels like he's just like, all right, I'm done with this bullshit. I want to settle down.
Yeah.
And I kind of can't blame him, right?
He's been saying that the whole time.
Yeah.
Like I just want to like bury my face between some tits, which I think is what he said verbatim.
Yeah, no, I think it is.
I just want a place to call my own where I can bury my face between some tits. Like that was like that's been his thing from the get-go. Like if you can give me that, I'll do whatever needs doing.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling like maybe whenever he tackled Jamie, he's all like ugly as shit now. Like
No.
maybe he got burnt on the way in.
No, I don't think
You
so.
don't think
Because
so?
he didn't get like. Well, we don't see him at the end. So
No,
I
that's-
guess, you know,
it's-
that's a
it's
good,
all in
that's a
silhouette.
good point. It's a good, yeah.
So he comes back up and he's like, "Look at this. Look at what you did, son of a
Maybe.
bitch. Did you really expect to take a dragon?"
I know. I kind of think that he's just there.
Yeah.
And he continues to be the like the not straight man, but he tends to be the comedy relief in that kind of stuff. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
He's been around the world long enough. He knows what's up.
Yeah.
Lord Friendzone ought to be here by next episode too, because apparently he's the only one that can't fast travel. He did not do all the save points.
You didn't pick up the
He
flight
didn't
pass.
pick up the flight pass.
Son of a bitch. I told you it was important.
He's
Take
the only
5
he's the
minutes.
only one that's gone from where the Grand Maester is and is still somewhere in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Mhm.
Him and Gendry are probably high-fiving along the way. Like,
Hey.
see you next episode, dude. So,
Oh, by the way,
yeah.
was that what's his face Tully? Old Papa Tully
Yeah, I think it is.
that
Yeah, it's-
was like peeling his helmet off of his burnt flesh.
All Vader style?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Like there was a shot again, kind of in silhouette. You couldn't make it out because the lighting was all crazy, right?
Yeah.
He drops next to the water and he has to like
Yeah.
pull that helmet off, and he's like falling towards the water, and then they cut away. Like,
I think it was, I mean, good riddance, right?
well, if he bites it
Yeah.
and Penison bites it, then isn't Sam the last guy in that family line, and now he's
Yeah.
head of House Tully?
Yes. I think that's part of it.
So that might be a large
Yeah.
plot point too.
And he's a maester at that point too. Does that do anything to it?
I don't know if that has any effect on it.
Yeah. Well, he's not a maester yet, I guess. He's still gonna pass
Right.
his like finals or some shit, or his
Right.
owls or whatever the fuck they do in Harry Potter school.
Yeah,
I don't know.
he's got to get his Mr. T chain.
I've seen a lot of men with a lot longer links be able to not to be able to pull that off, and he's like, I fucking read the book. I read the goddamn book.
I pity the fool to try
Yeah.
to pull off that procedure.
Yeah.
Chicky, 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 chicky.
He just did like something for Project Alpha where he played D&D, like Vin Diesel did in that
Yeah.
one Celebrity D&D.
Yeah.
They have like Celebrity D&D,
Uh-huh.
and then he's on the latest episode of that or something,
Yeah.
which I think is interesting. So,
Stryker is correcting Harley. House Harley.
I know. I have this
Whatever.
discussion with my wife all the time because she says Tully, and no, that's a coffee shop, which was owned at one
Whoops.
point by Patrick Dempsey, and now no longer owned by Patrick Dempsey.
Yeah, isn't that what do they call him? Like Dr. Handsome or something like that, or
I should know this because I've watched so much Grey's Anatomy.
do you really?
Yeah, like for the first like 5 seasons, I've watched every episode.
That's reasonable.
McDreamy.
McDreamy.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
Everybody's beautiful in that show. Speaking of people who aren't beautiful or are at least
Whoa, I'm
less
sitting
beautiful
right
now.
fucking here.
Not you.
Oh.
Beautiful as fuck. They lit 20 people on fire for that scene, by the way.
Yeah.
Legitimately, they had 20 people doing the whole fire suit thing for that scene.
Yeah, they got that thing now that's that liquid that you can pour over that doesn't burn you; it just burns. Period.
Yeah, but it still burns all the oxygen around you, so you can't breathe, and you're also still on fire, which after too long is still a problem.
Yeah, you inhale some
But
shit. Yeah.
They lit 20 people on fire, which I believe was actually a record.
Is
for,
it?
Like,
Did
yeah.
they have the Guinness people out?
I don't know. I just heard, I thought I read somewhere that that's either like near the record or the record for the most
Nice.
people set on
Nice.
fire for a stunt
I like that.
simultaneously. Which I actually saw, like, I watched the thing where they were like, all right, we're going to blow you up. Ready? And go. Boof. And I was like, what? Like, they really just, like, blew those guys up.
Yeah.
And they're running around on fire. And then everybody's just, like, I've seen an individual doing that,
Yeah.
right? Where everybody's kind of, like, tracking them. And they're like,
Yeah.
all right, we gotta do the countdown or whatever. But it was just really kind of crazy how casual it all
Yeah.
was. Like, everybody just standing in a big circle around it. these guys blow up, and they're like, ah! And then they start flopping to the ground, and the people are just like, okay, we should hose them off now.
Did we get enough B-roll? Okay, good. All right.
Hose them.
Yeah.
Hose them. You forgot Tom.
Poor Tom.
You know, he's an asshole.
Oh my goodness. I think that's it for this week.
That's all we got. We'll save Pickle Rick for another time.
Pickle Rick,
motherfucker.
Pickle Rick. Available on Gator Pete's Discord channel.
That's right.
Yeah. Use Pickle Rick. There's a whole server for Pickle Rick.
I hope he's making full Pickle Rick emoticons, like full body Pickle Rick.
I hope
now.
so too. We'll see where it comes.
Rat suit and everything.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
You guys have been listening to the Super Magical Podcast. A big thanks to Stormy Love, Levi Moat, Mo Jeff, our intrepid intern Striker, and many, many others for joining us in the chat this week. You can find, if you're listening to this as a podcast and want to interact on the show in Twitch, we stream the show every Tuesday starting at 8 p.m. Pacific. If you're not able to watch our show live, we are available on demand on both Twitch and YouTube, as well as your favorite podcatcher. Please throw us a subscribe or a follow or a favorite, and tell us that that you're watching, that you're supporting. We'll thank you on the show just like we did a minute ago. We don't do any paid advertising for this, so this word of mouth, man, is the only way that we get we get known by anybody. So your generosity hitting us right here. A quick shout out that if you're going to PAX 2017, we've said this a couple times, the entire Super Magical crew will be there. We're going to be doing something a little bit special. We still actually need to reach out to Mega Ran. We got him for like a weekend. We need to see. He'll be there. You can also join the crew. We're going to be running games of Identico on Saturday and Sunday. We have a couple of slots, and this is a little special. We got a couple of slots open for a special long play edition of Identico with the Super Magical crew, run by yours truly, featuring the intrepid intern Striker, featuring Hoover, featuring our Dark Overlord, Grandpa Joe, featuring the Dark Overlord's little minion.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So we have a couple of slots open for that. Look for that coming up soon. We have a sign-up sheet. We'll be blasting it all over social media. This is first come, first served basis, so with those couple of seats for the special Monday edition of Identico, gonna go quickly. Promise me. Promise you.
Promise me?
Promise you. Yeah.
Okay. I promise you.
Yes. That you're gonna have a good time playing Identico on Monday.
Yeah.
Also, if you can't make it on Monday, come Saturday and Sunday, we got plenty of games running all day. You rolled a 1.
I'm getting him out early.
Twitch, they rolled a 1.
I didn't. He turned that dice.
No, that's a load of shit. The podcast is recorded here in Seattle. It's a production of Super Magical and Humanoid Games. Our executive producer is Gator Pete. Our benevolent overlord is Grandpa Joe. If you have a comment or question for the show, find us on Facebook or Twitter. Search Super Magical Podcast. Or my man Hoover.
Critical fail at Hoover is bad. Hashtag critical fail.
Yep. Hashtag Daily Initiative. Join us in the Daily Initiatives.
Name of the episode.
Critical fail. Okay.
There we go.
And you can find me on Twitter at the Malaman, all one word. Otherwise, we will see you guys next week.
See you, babies.